So when we started this project, we drew our car out on graph paper, right?
Yep.
And what I've done now is I've photocopied this a couple times so that we can cut out our pieces. So these are the side pieces we need to make. These pieces we cut out of wood.
Yep, so now we just gotta shave them off and make them look good.
We're gonna put this on there and make it look good. But first we need to make the wheels fit. Alright, so there, I cut the wheels out. We need to glue that on now. And I have some spray glue, which is stinky.
We're doing this on video because if it sprays the lens, we have to get it on video.
Yep, I'm gonna spray the lens, that'd be bad.
But we have to get it on video if it does, right?
I think that'd be a bad idea. What we got now is some standard 3M spray glue. I think they make it cheaper, but this is the stuff I have, right? So we're going to take this over to a spot we can get spray on, and I'm going to spray it real quick, and then we'll bring it back.
Don't do it on me.
Not on you. You don't want to be sprayed? Let's
No.
do it right here on this.
Okay, I'm going to cover my eyes.
Alright, so I use this piece of plywood to hold it. I spray glued it. Now let's see if we can get it off of here and flip it over onto our piece of wood we need. It'll stay slippery for a little while. So we're going to line this up with the wheel holes we made, in theory. We want them to line up just about like that. Alright, what do you think? That'll take a few seconds to dry.
I like it.
And then...
Chop, chop, chop.
What?
They're like, and then I was like, chop, 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 and then...
Not chop, chop, chop. We want to cut both of them to match, right?
Yep, so we gotta tape them together.
We got this double-sided tape. And this is the side, they go like this on either side of that block. Mm-hmm. So this is the side we got. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this double-sided tape. It's getting kind of old. I need some new double-sided tape. I think this is...
We do have a huge roll.
Yeah, but that's foam tape. We need the not foam kind. This is the not foamy kind. That's got the thick foam kind. We don't want it to be thick. We just want it to be stick together. So stick that down there pretty good. And we're going to cut these wheels out so we can see what we're doing. We'll have to be very accurate because we're going to reshape around this template, right? So we'll cut around this so we can see the wheel wells a little better. Pretty sticky.
If it tears the paper, then it works.
It's pretty sticky stuff. For as old as it is, we probably ought to get some more. I've had this for a while.
You get the backing off.
Very carefully. It's kind of hard, isn't it? Alright, so we get this smoothed on. Get the excess off because it'll be in our way. That, and then you got to kind of find a corner to lift up. And get that corner lifted up like that.
Boom.
Alright, when we put this together, we need to line these holes up. The wheel wells.
Yeah.
Can't see past that one very good. Let's smoosh these wheel wells in so we can see better.
Hey, wax paper template too.
Yeah, we don't need that. Alright, and we're going to line our wheel holes up. Because the rest of it we can shape again, so we're only really concerned about the wheels. Because that's the part we got to clear. We can cut everything to match the wheels.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good, right? Lined up pretty good.
Yeah.
A little bit low on that one. Alright, and then we're going to push this down really hard so the two stick together. And now, when we cut the rest of the wood away, both these pieces will end up the same size. And we'll cut around our template. Get this sticky thing out of the road.
I'll go put it in the vise.
Well, we got to figure out which saw we're going to use still, right?
Probably something maybe big.
Well, yeah, I kind of wish we had a finer tooth blade for our coping saw. The one we had wasn't bad though, right?
Yeah.
This is a kind of a finer tooth blade, but we really need a finer tooth one. So we can probably put this back together. Or we use this to cut the wheel holes out, right?
Yeah.
And then we can cut the easy parts with a flat saw. See these ends right here?
Yeah.
We can use this saw here or one of those other saws like we used last time to cut that off. Get that cut more close. We want a little overhang because we're going to line up with the wheels on here too. So we can cut that later. We need to trim this up mostly on the top. Right here.
Yep.
Because when we get this cut, this body, we're going to cut this to match. So this is also going to curve a little bit. Because if you look at our drawing, that body line goes like this,
Yep.
but it goes inside the roof just a little bit.
Yep.
The roof actually overhangs it, so maybe not. I don't know, what do you think? We can change the roof line too.
Yeah. You can always take off.
Maybe we'll just do this on the sides.
Yeah.
And then we glue it on here, we'll have the roof flat. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll just cut these, and then when they glue them on, we'll make our roof flat on top. We'll see how that works. We're probably making ourselves more work, but we'll see how it works out.
Yeah.
We'll see how it works out. Got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we need to cut that. We're gonna have to use the vise to do it. So we probably need to move back over. You could also, what you could do once we don't want to cut right on the line,
Yeah.
because we can take our files and our wood rasp and we can smooth it like we did the wheel wells here.
Yeah.
We can smooth it down, and the wood rasp I have over there, the Shinto rasp we used last time, that'll take that right down. Might even want to, maybe we can just do it with the Shinto rasp.
Yeah.
Think it'd be easier than sawing it or not?
I prefer to saw.
You want to saw it?
Yeah.
All right, well, I gotta move my camera over. I was wondering if this file, this rasp, would do a better job. Since it's a really not very thick wood.
I'm getting the finest saw we own.
See this? You might be able to just take that right off. We can maybe do that after we get it sawed a little bit. So you want to saw it closer to the right size?
Yeah.
All right, well, we don't get right on the line. So we can start by cutting this off. You want to use that saw or you want to use the longer saw?
I'm using this saw.
All right, well, we don't want to cut into our paper, so you want to cut about right here.
Okay.
Make it straight now. Yeah, you're pretty good. You're binding it again. You see your twist? See? Angle. You got, hold on, you're getting it all crooked. See the angle you're putting on it?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. You want to put straight. Remember your foot. Move your right foot back, and then move over so this is behind your shoulder. As long as you go straight, it'll slide through there. But as soon as you do this, you feel that?
Yeah.
Pull it. Pull. Real hard. Pull. Can you pull it?
No.
Now pull it. You see the difference?
Yeah.
Gotta stay straight or it won't cut. Ta-da! Alright, we'll leave the front on for now, I think, because we're going to have to trim that.
Yeah.
We're going to have to cut this with a coping saw, I think,
Yep.
around these edges.
Yep.
So we're going to have to cut that. So right now we're just removing a little extra bulk. And then we'll wood rasp it and we'll file it. These little corners here,
Yeah.
we'll use a file to get those all right. One of these big old coarse rat tail files.
Yeah.
We got a couple of those in different sizes. And the corner files, those will get in there. Alright, so we still need to do our wheel wells here. Let's do those with the
I
file.
thought we already did those.
We're going to finish them out to match the paper though.
Ah.
We did them, but they don't quite match the paper yet. So we need to get in here like this and get them to match the paper. So we're going to take this off.
On the real ones, they kind of angled upward like this, like Lego airplane shape.
Yeah. I might use a little wood rasp here to take it off faster. And then we'll file it. Alright, what do you think? About that right? About the right angle there?
About right.
Same with this one. We need to take her down.
Probably also do the curve near the rear, too.
We could. We're just going to have to finish it a little bit at a time as we work, right?
Yeah.
Get it a little bit curvy as we go. This one here needs quite a bit more though. See how much wood we got here off the paper?
Yeah.
They can't probably see that on the film, but there's a lot of wood right there that really probably needs to be thinned out a little bit. I think we need a round file here to shape our wheel well in. We need a bigger round file. We got a bigger one though, right? I think we do anyway. Yeah, we got this big monster one here. Look at that thing. It's giant. It's giant. And that'll round that out a little better.
I bet there are bigger ones out there.
There are. I have a limited supply, but these are what I have. Alright, so this is what we're going to do for all of the cuts we need to make. We need to shape them to match the paper.
They're called rat tail files, but don't use an actual rat's tail because it won't work.
That won't work very good at all. Plus, it makes the rat mad.
And it'll bite you, which will make you throw them into a trap. No more rat.
Alright, like that. All nice and smoothed up around the wheel wells. And this is what we're going to do for the front and the back. All the parts we need to file off, we're going to smooth them out this way with these files. There it is. We're just going to take these and we're going to keep smoothing up the wood until it matches our paper all the way around, okay? And a little bit here. I think down to here, right? Yeah. I can take some of this off. We broke a piece off there. That might be a problem. I have to glue that back on this corner. I think we were sawing it. Yeah, see this piece? Got a little rambunctious. That piece there, we might need to glue that back on. So hold on to that. Let's see where we end up. We may need to re-glue that. That's okay. We'll glue it on there. It does come up to about here, which it's close. So it comes up to about right there. It's going to be pretty close. We might not have a problem with it. And that's rounded.
We could just taper the other side.
Well, it's going to be rounded back here, remember?
Yeah.
So the back has got these big rounded things back there around the taillights, so that'll be rounded under. Might not be a problem. We'll see. If it is, we'll save this piece back and we'll glue it on.
Yeah.
Alright, so all we got to do now, shape all this around the paper, right?
Yep.
Alright. Lots of work. Yeah?
I kind of want to plane this flat.
I think you'll plane your fin off, though, if you use a plane.
I
mean, a plane will take it down to here, but if you go too far, it'll plane that off. And plus, we got two pieces of wood, and the grain might be going two different directions. We can try to plane it. You want to try that?
Yeah, I'm going to go. There, jet plane, ready?
Yep. We can try to plane it a little bit.
Blade out.
I think blade's still out, isn't it? Did I leave it adjusted last time?
Yep.
Okay.
I left it adjusted.
Okay. So this, yeah, our wood might be going the wrong direction. See that? It's chatter?
Yeah.
That's bucking the grain. What we're doing is we're hitting the end of the grain. It looks like we're hitting it equally, so maybe it'll be all right if we flip it.
Yeah.
You want to go the direction of the grain, or it catches the saw and it starts to grab onto the grain of the wood. If you go with the grain, I don't think it's going to work very good. I don't know if it's going to work good, but this seems like it. Now we're hitting the grain. I think we're hitting both sides. Not really working with a plane because they've got two pieces of wood and the grains are going two different directions, I think. Might not be the way we want to go. Might have it too deep, too. Let's see if we can get it, the blade up here. Yeah, it might be taking too deep of a cut. You might have the blade too low.
Than usual, so there's probably something wrong.
Let's see. There you go. A little better. Still bucking the grain a little bit, but we just want to take it down to this paper line, right?
It's literally got a mouse nest on it.
Alright, want to try to use the plane?
Yep.
Alright, we'll get over here. Alright, remember how to do it?
Yeah.
Alright, move your feet back. Yeah, use your feet to hold you up. Don't put your feet together. Whenever you're doing, oh, look at my feet. Whenever you're doing work, yeah, get your feet further apart so you can use your hips and keep your balance. See how you're kind of losing your balance? Move your legs so you can hold yourself up. And keep our iron line there. We don't want to take too much off. All right, how are we looking? We got a little bit, 1/4 inch or so. You use your arms, you're rocking your whole body. Like that. Use your back foot to push, kind of. What are we looking like now? A little bit more. We're getting there, though.
So so many.
You're playing off. Alright, where are we at now? We're getting there. We don't want to cut into our hood, and we don't want to cut into that fin. We're getting there. Alright, take that back down a little bit more. Oops, got a chip under our blade, I can feel it.
Oddly satisfying.
Yeah, we're almost to our roof now. See, we're almost to the hood line?
Yeah.
They can't see that, but we're almost there. So I think that's about as far as we're going to get with that. You're going to lay it on the side, right? Oh, you're trying not to crush your wood chips?
Yeah. But the point was I was going to try to dump this thing out so when we were going to use it again, we didn't have to do this giant bird's nest on top.
Alright. So now we can do the rest of it with this wood rasp. Alright. So that's going to be our sides. And then we need to do the same thing we did here on the top. We just need to do it here. We need to cut these out with a coping saw a little bit, or maybe just file them out.
File them out.
See, that one's almost perfectly round right here.
Yeah.
This round file here, if we can keep it in line, that'll file that straight down, right?
Yep.
You don't want to break them. Let's move that piece back on, I bet you. We'll see. Break them when we do it. All right, you ready? We want to take this and we want to stay straight. Do it that way, crossing over. Now you're all over. See this? How you're doing this? We don't want to do that. We're going to stay straight. And once we get a good groove set, let me get her tighter. Once we get a good groove set, it'll stay in the groove, kind of. Not want to stay in our vise because we cut the curve, didn't we? Groove. We're getting there. See the paper at all? You're getting there.
We'll be able to put the little tiny taillights and the fins on this
I think
thing?
we will, yeah. Let's go with this bigger one.
If this were a real rat's tail, it'd be one fat rat.
Let's see where we're at. All right. We're almost in the paper, right?
Yep.
So what we're trying to do, we're trying to file that round part in. I don't know if they can see the paper in there or not, but we're trying to file this round bit to match our template, and we'll do the same thing up here too. We'll just keep filing and whittling away at it until it matches, right?
Yep.
We'll be all set. Yeah.
Yep.
Alright. Let's pause the video so we can get some better files and stuff. Alright. So, we're just see this little groove? This file will fit in there. And all we're doing is lightly shaping that groove. And we're checking to make sure, see our paper over here?
Yep.
And make sure it's paper. We need to go forward a little bit. So see how I'm pushing like this way?
Yep.
We're going to push that way and make it cut more on that side than the other sides. Look all right yet?
All right.
Look on the paper. Look like about right?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Well, we got this one little groove here. This is a little too big for that groove. Let's change files. I got another file for this. Let me go find another file. Now that we've got it roughed down, we're just trying to get it neater, right? A little bit closer. That's somewhere. These files here, they're really cheap needle file set from a cheap tool company, right? They have these really tiny files. See how small that circle is?
Oh man.
That circle will probably fit right in there. So go ahead and file that one out. And there's probably an oval one, yeah, like this has got a half round or oval. And pay attention to your paper now. We're not just sawing away. We're trying to make sure we get down to where our line is. And we got it roughed out, but now we need to smooth it out a little bit, right? And we're going to do the whole car this way. So all the little details, we're going to file to get them all square. That's probably good enough now, because you know what we need to do still?
What do we need to do? We
need to glue them on the car still.
Yeah.
And then the car, we're going to cut the hood, but they're going to have to be blended in.
Yeah.
Because remember on our instructions, or not instructions, but our drawing, see, we're cutting this part of the fender here, but notice on our block, we still need to cut this out. And then we're going to say we're going to add a front bumper to it, right? We're going to cut in and maybe put a bumper in it. So on our front block, we need to do the same thing we've done here. I guess they can't see that in the video, can they? So what we've done is we've shaped the ends. I don't know if you can see that or not. The files and rasps and the tail ends. I can't see whether you can see it or not, but yeah, it doesn't move anymore. So we're going to do the same thing on the block. We're going to cut this so it has this little point on the hood, and we're going to do that on this block. And then when we glue these on, we'll blend them together. That makes sense?
Yep.
So what you need to probably do is cut this template out too, right? Let's get the photocopy. There's the one I already cut. So I cut the template out of this one already. So let's go ahead and cut this one out as well. And we can glue this onto our block. This is not a lot to cut off this block. We're using most of the block. Okay, so we'll cut this to match our block. The same thing. We're going to use a double-sided tape, and we want the bulk of it on the front because that's where our hood is, right? This car has a giant hood. We'll get our double-sided tape, and we'll tape that back on, and we'll do the same thing. We'll cut this and file that until we get that little notch in there, and then when we put the parts together, we'll blend them. Sound like a plan? Mm-hmm. Double-sided tape. Straight, sliding all over the place. Usually work on the other side of the bench. We're kind of off the edge here, aren't we? Trim that nice and neat.
Like it's not temporary.
It's temporary, but we'll make it anyway. All right, so we need to know where the front of the car is. That's the front. And the hood's going to go here. We're doing this on the top because we don't want to cut the wheel parts, right? It's stuck where I didn't want it to stick. Get this smoothed down so I can see what I'm doing here. Well, it's probably close enough. And we're going to do the same thing we did with this. We're going to file and rasp these little grooves out, and this bumper comes up short here. This is the roof. We don't need to cut to there, but we need to cut to this one because the fins stick out in the back a little farther. So these come back and it goes in a little bit for the trunk, and this is going to get rounded up, but for now, we're just going to go ahead and cut it like that.
So are we going to peel these apart like this?
Yeah, we'll have to pry them apart. We'll do it now. We need them together now.
That's hard.
Yeah, it glues them together pretty good. We'll have to very carefully get like a little thin putty knife in there and pry them apart.
Yeah, that'll be hard.
So we do the same thing here. We need to file these. Yep. Alright, so we gotta stand up on the end like this. And we can probably cheat if you want and saw them a little bit first.
Yeah.
This saw here doesn't cut that much off at a time, so we could probably cut straight down. See this groove we're hitting?
Yep.
Probably cut straight down, maybe, if I can get the saw to catch. Oh, there we go. Cut it straight down like this, and then we'll just cut those wedges out. The saw doesn't want to, there's no set on this blade, it doesn't want to cut down straight, does it? Unless I'm trying to do it on the ground. Alright, so we got our grooves. Alright, you want to do this part? I'm going to keep them straight. Right over here we can use a saw. You can't use a saw sideways. We're watching, so we don't want to go past our paper line. See that line? Are we down to our line yet? I think we just about are, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, let's do this one too then. What about that? We down to our line?
Yeah.
One more maybe?
No, no, no.
No? You think we're there? Alright.
We're there.
Alright, so now that gets our line set. We can try to wedge these out here. Cutting this much off. Any minute now, right? There it goes. And that'll get that cut out. Fight me.
Are we gonna have room for double headlights?
I think we will. I think this has double headlights, doesn't it? Cadillac, they base this on?
It has double headlights.
We'll figure that out when we get there, okay?
Okay.
Almost there, there we go. And that'll be the point, and we'll file that nice and straight.
Not too pointy.
Well, we're gonna make it pointy. So what we need to do now is find a file and file that to a point. Can you see what I'm doing?
Yep.
There you go. You need a bigger file than that? Coarser one, or you think that's gonna, wait, you didn't see what I was doing. We need to file to a point. We need the whole thing to come up to a point. You're just filing, you're gonna make it flatter. All right, you're pushing way down, flat. Remember we said files use two hands? Two hands? I think we gotta do the wood rasp first to get it roughed in.
Yeah, get roughed.
Because this takes in a lot of wood. All right, well, come here. This takes a lot of wood off though. You gotta be very careful with this rasp. It takes it off really fast. You easily go too far. The other side too, and we'll get them to come up together. Close, we're leaning towards the back. We need to take some more off the front here. And there we got for a point now. Pretty good? What do you think?
Yeah, well, that's like an arrowhead.
It's pretty good, right? Is it about in the middle?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Right there's our arrow.
Yep. Which will be painted on for the Cadillac emblem.
Yeah, we're gonna paint the emblems on with paint markers, right? All right, so that's got our hood point. And these, we're gonna blend these when we get the side panels on, because it needs to be cut like this still, right? We need to blend it all together.
We're putting on the block.
So yeah, that's the front of it. So we're gonna do the back. The back we might wait on, because we're gonna have to curve this. It's gonna curve up towards the roof. So we might wait on that. So these are gonna go on here like this.
Splat. Okay.
About like that. And then our roof will go on top here.
We're gonna have to hollow this out a little bit.
I don't know if we will, because I think the roof is going to be about the same size.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking about maybe just making the roof overhang a little bit.
Yeah.
We might use some filler or something.
Yeah.
Or just maybe glue a little sliver of wood in there to fill that gap.
Yeah.
And then before we go too far, we're going to have to weigh this, because our wheels weigh stuff. So before we go too far and get this all shaped, I want to weigh it, and then if we need to remove a bunch of wood here, I want to do it before we get everything finished.
Or we can remove a bunch of wood from the roof before we glue that on.
Right, so I want to weigh all the parts before we get that far. That way we know how much, about where it's going to be, and if we got to remove a bunch of wood, we can right now while it's before it's all smoothed out.
We can remove a bunch of wood so nobody can see it, like it'll be on the roof, and no one's
we
gonna
could do
tear
it.
the roof
Yeah,
off.
we could do it from the top down, and then
Yeah.
it'd just be hollow in the middle, maybe, right? I could do it. We could do that.
Because no one's gonna tear the roof off just to see a hole.
So yeah, we could do it, because last time we did it from the bottom up, but we could do it that way, from the bottom, top down.
Yeah.
Just drill it out. But that's where we're gonna go. It's gonna look something like that. All right, let's do the roof. This is our roof, right?
Not a roof.
So here's our deal with the roof. We got this roof. Let me find, yeah, this piece of paper here. We cut that part out of. Mm-hmm. This is the roof. It needs to be there. A little bit of curve, and you want to put a roof rack on this with some bottles and stuff like the Ecto 1 has, right? So we need to glue this onto here, like this, no matter which side's top.
Yep. And I think the bottle should have weights in the back to kind of add some weight.
Well, we'll have to see if we need weight though, remember? The car's got to end up at the right weight, so we can glue this on or double side tape this too. If we tape this on, then we can start shaping this wood the same way we did the others. We can just rasp off everything that isn't the paper.
Yeah.
On the plan?
Yep.
Is it the right width? So here's our drawing. I think it's too wide. See our roof? Right here's where I drew the roof line, and we're too wide.
Yeah.
We only need it to be about this wide. Here. And I kind of like the taper. I'd like to keep that taper in it.
Yeah.
So the back, it tapers down. So we'll have to see what we can do about that. Do I have a, yeah, I got another copy. We can make more photocopies, right?
Yeah.
So the roof on the top. Do what?
We make $1 million.
Yeah, we could.
We make more copies till we run out of toner.
So the roof, I like this tapered back look, which I don't know if they can see that in the film or not, but I like how it rolls back and tapers.
Yep, there's a Lego one that uses tapered clear pieces to do all of that.
Yeah. I like that it's not square. Kind of make it like a little teardrop shape.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not even on camera. Over here's camera. I like this little teardrop shape. So I think what we'll do is we'll glue this on the side and this on the top. So we might start here. Are they the same length? They should be. Not quite. So we got something going screwy here. Oh, over here is where it is. The roof line. The hood comes down farther under the fender.
Yeah.
So it comes up short because this came down lower. So we're fine. So I think we'll double-sided tape this on, and we'll cut this out, and then we'll start shaping it. Yep. I can get to come loose. Almost. There we go. Get that off of there. Alright, we want this roof line to stay in the middle of our block. Okay. Same thing here. We just need to rasp off all of the wood. You do it now or you want to wait?
Wait.
That's what I figured. It looked like you were getting about tired of working on stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, well let's pause it then. And we'll take a break. Alright. Come here.
Rasping time.
Everyone to rasp. 2 hands, remember, one front, one on the back. And we're just going to take this.
Last year I was afraid of putting my hand on the other end.
Well, it's got some sharp points on it. It's not that bad, right?
Basically a saw and a file, smash them together, you got a rasp.
This rasp takes it off pretty fast, right? Alright, see what we got. So there's the sides. We got a little too much curve on this side. They're not even, but that I don't know if that matters.
Yeah, it don't matter.
I mean by blocking my car over there. Bring it all over. Alright, so this goes here. Right around there somewhere. And then these will go over here.
It makes the car look like it's ready for dualies.
Well, this has got both sides, remember?
Yeah, but literally, I tried it. 2 wheels, it fits dualies.
Well, these are both sides all together, so the car will actually look more like this if they're looking down from the top up there. It'll look more like this because both fenders will be opposite sides of the fenders, so it'll only be about that wide. So I think we should go ahead and maybe shape the roof some.
Yeah.
So I think we can do the same thing with a rasp, and we can round these corners over.
Yep.
And even not the back, because we're going to glue the back as it happens, but we can definitely take this corner off and this corner off.
Yeah.
And then the windshield, we might start on it. We can use this for the shape. So the windshield will go here. And we got it going all the way back to there, so we can glue this on. Oh, it's curved. So we can put this on here like this. And that'll give us our shape that we need to accomplish.
Yeah.
It don't gotta be accurate because we're making out of wood, right? We can always change the plan if we need to.
We can add more, we can take more. Well, we can't really
start a whole nother piece of wood if we need to, right?
Yeah.
That piece there. Alright, see if you can get these tapes off for me. These two pieces are stuck here. See if you can get the non-sticky off of them and we'll tape this down. No tape, we'll tape off, just the paper. We're gonna get them all dirty and it won't stick. Don't want to get it all dirty.
Oh, come on.
You get your fingernail there, just half of it.
There we go.
There's one.
Yep.
Get the other one too.
Did you already start it?
Nope. Your job.
Ash screams.
Almost. You almost got it. Get it? Alright, we'll line this up here on the bottom edge. Oop, missed it. I guess it don't gotta be that accurate, but you know the principle of the thing, right?
Yeah.
And that can go there. Now, same thing on the roof. We want the curve to match that curve.
Yeah.
So our paper ought to come off, but we can do ahead and take this and shape that too.
Yeah.
So we'll take this paper off and leave the tape on if we can. Might need sticker back, right?
Yep.
See if we can get off tape and all. Like that. I'm going to stick this over here on this post for now in case we need it again, alright?
Alright.
Remember it's there. Alright, so now we need to shape this so it matches that curve.
Alright. Scissor holder.
This will take a little longer because it's a wider piece of wood, right? Alright. Try filing on it.
Or rasping on it.
Rasping on it. Alright, you see where you gotta take wood off? We're not just rasping anywhere. Remember, make sure you're rasping the right spots. Probably need to saw that windshield. I wouldn't worry about that. We're worried about this curve on top. See that little curve there?
Yeah.
So we're going to cut that. We'll have to saw that windshield. So we're mostly worried about that curve there. There, cuts that direction. Saw, yep, cuts that direction. It'll take a while, isn't it? We'll cut off just one side now. We do need to round it, but that's for later. We'll get this cut first, so you want to keep kind of flat. Like this. You want to try to cut these off first. Not quite the right saw for the job, is it? Alright, help saw it. Put your butt behind the saw. You get behind the saw. Yes. Ta-da! Alright, now we have kind of a windshield. We'll have to rasp that smooth. A little closer to the shape we're going for, right? Alright, so we're pretty good. We need to take this corner here off still. Getting there. One piece at a time, right?
Yep.
Okay. We've roughed our roof in a little more. So it's a little rounder, and that's going to go on here. Yeah, right there. And I think we're ready to look at the sides and how they go together. We're going to have a gap right there. Yeah. I think we'll fill that in with some putty or something, or maybe a small chunk of wood. But what we need to do now is get these back apart. So we're going to start by wedging in between here. I'm just making a gap because we're going to need a putty knife.
Yeah.
So I'm just wedging the blade in there to start it.
Oh, there's the putty knife.
And then we're going to take this putty knife.
Same putty knife I used to scrape candle wax off the fireplace.
Yeah. And we want to put the knife in there, and we're just trying to pry really gently because this is soft wood, so it's going to keep wanting to split. And so we're trying. That tape is really strong stuff. So you notice I left all this extra wood down the bottom.
Yeah.
That's the wood I'm denting up with this putty knife. Hopefully. Yeah, it's trying. We need some not so sticky tape. We're getting there though. It's coming apart. Starting to come apart. There we go. Ta-da! Once we get started here prying apart, just gotta get a good start and then it'll leverage right apart. Alright. Got all this extra tape off of here.
I found a piece of brass and I'd be able to cut some of it with.
Alright, so what's going to happen is this is going to go on like that. We'll use our wheels to line it up. Put our wheels in, and that'll line it up. Yeah, bring me a wheel. So we'll stick the wheel in gently, just a tiny bit. Give me another wheel, please. And when we glue these on, the axle's in straight, we can use those wheels to line up our body panel like that. Ta-da. And then we still got to cut our body. See this main block?
Yeah.
We have to cut the main block a little bit to match, but remember we're going to blend it, right? Because we got this big old hood. And I think the bumper should come straight across. So we'll have to blend all these lines together with a file. We can do that.
Yeah.
And then the roof going to go on like that. Well, two sides, of course. Tape off of this one. I'm gonna get back there. Like that. It'll end up looking something like that.
But only the paint job will be a lot better.
I think our roof might be too wide still. Look at our roof compared to the car. See our roof?
Yeah, that's a bit excessive.
Because we want this line here to be visible, so I think we need to take our roof down just a bit more on the front. The back's fine, I think. The back's pretty good. Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
So we probably will have to use that template again that I saved here. The template I saved last time. Yeah. We'll use this and we'll stick her back on there. It's kind of sawdusty now, but it'll hold still, I think. We'll have to narrow our roof just a bit because we're a little bit too wide. I get it going straight. So we'll put that back in the vise and we'll cut a little bit more off. Make it a little narrow. Alright, if I can ever get the tape stick the right spot. Yeah, we're a little wide. I can see it with the sticker on it again. I can see we didn't cut quite on our line, did we? Alright, like that. Now we'll make that a little narrower. Let me look at some pictures of the car too and see how the roof line matches it.
Yeah.
If we can get on the internet and look at the pictures of the car. I don't know if that goes over, if we should go really narrow and just leave a big fender. We'll have to look at the pictures of the car. But that's our idea. We'll glue them all together and we'll end up with a big old car, and then we'll finish carving this rounding these up, round everything up, and then we can paint it. And then figure weight. I bet we're going to have to remove a bunch of wood still.
Yeah.
That's okay. We'll get there.